See what we're getting at? But if you are reaching for the awesome pleasure of non-resistant thought, now your vibration remains clean. So you know about meditation. We'll talk more about it if you want to know more about it as we move forward. Powerful way to connect to all of this, but a way to get out ahead of it, a way to prepare yourself so that the bumps don't bother you. And sometimes you worry, well, Abraham, I don't want you to prepare me so that the bumps don't bother me. I want the awesome power of non-resistant thought so I can get rid of the damn bumps. We say, we know you do, and we want those bumps to disappear for you too, but we want you to take pleasure in where you are anyway, and then things just start smoothing out for you. So the awesome power of non-resistant thought. So getting out ahead of it, a very powerful way of getting out ahead of it before you walk into a segment is to stop for a moment and identify that you're about to enter a new segment. A new segment means different people are going to enter your life, or you're going to go into a different space. When you get in your car, it's a new segment. When you leave the kitchen and go into the living room, it's a new segment. When you get ready, Esther identifies about 30 segments a day that are different one from the last. Sometimes she's editing a recording, sometimes she's working on an album cover, sometimes she's receiving book dictation, sometimes she's going to dinner with a friend. In other words, lots of different segments. So she'll sit recognizing that she's about to move into a segment, and she will isolate her feeling of well-being right here and now about that segment. In other words, sort of getting out ahead of it, thinking about the pleasure of that segment. But what's happening is she is bringing herself into a solid vibration of well-being before she enters that segment. And then it is amazing to see how well that next segment treats her, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. So she was telling someone the other day that she now understands a distinction in segment intending that she didn't understand before. Segment intending, we've been talking about it from the very beginning. Jerry said, Abraham, can you tell us the basics of what you are here to teach us? And we said, the law of attraction, first and foremost, the law of deliberate creation, not really a law, it's just a process, but we called it a law because we wanted to get their attention. And the art of allowing, the law of allowing, but it's really an art. It's the art of understanding all of this. We've talked about that already here today. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And 4 was segment intending. 4 was being aware in this segment of what your point of attraction is. So Esther is telling a friend, I now understand something in a way I had not understood it before, because I used to think that segment intending was me looking forward into the segment and making a sort of statement of powerful intention to the universe. From that segment, I want these things. I want a smooth road, and I want nice drivers, and I want safe transfer, which those are things that we were guiding Esther to want. But she was not quite understanding the vibrational stance with which she was moving into the segment. And she said, now I understand. She said, I feel more like what I'm doing as I'm doing my segment intending about what's coming next is I'm putting myself into a vibrational capsule of attraction, and me in my capsule of attracting of well-being is now moving into the world where only what matches who I am can come to me from the segment. In other words, I'm not making all the drivers be nice, because some of them don't want to be, and I don't get to be the boss of them, and I don't get to make everybody behave the way I think I would like them to behave. What I'm doing is identifying my point of attraction so that only those that match me come to me. Now here's the thing, friends, only those that match you are coming to you. So those ornery ones you deserve. You're a vibrational match to them. So this is why you want to start doing your best to offer your vibration deliberately. That's what we mean by getting out ahead of it. And that's what we're hearing from you about that.
I think that goes to trusting that in that trust that the universe is in charge. If I'm in a bad situation, instead of looking at the situation, I have to look at, why am I in that situation for myself.
Well, don't look too hard, Because if you look for the why you're in that situation, you're calibrating to that. Esther laughed at herself the other day because she segment intended 30 times that day at least. She fills a notebook nearly every day, and it takes about 2 minutes for each segment, so it's not a big use of time, but it sure does feel good. She's addicted to that process because it feels so good. And then she's also enjoying the improvement in her point of attraction too. So she's deliberately segment intending, and then she turned the television on and watched it for an hour, and afterwards she thought, that was like anti-segment intending. That was like segment intending all the things that I don't want. And the same thing happens when you see a problem that you're trying to fix. It's like segment intending, and yet that's sort of the human tendency, isn't it, to find a need and fill it, and find a problem and talk about it, and find a problem and get to the bottom of it. But if you notice, there's no bottom. There is no bottom. When you get fixated on the problem that you're wanting to get to the bottom of, while you are launching rockets of desires and you are launching the improvements, as long as you're focused on trying to fix it, the problem solving mode is the problem intending mode. It just is. The solution seeking mode is the solution finding mode. Really good. Really good. Yes.